Byron Rodgers
Yes,
with us. Um,
honored.
yeah, no,
Oh,
no, no need to present you or to whoever doesn't know who's Byron Rodgers. You know, one of the leading figures in the private sector, executive protection, everything related to the industry. A leading figure. Love what you do. It's the
thank
real
you.
truth.
Thank you.
Bringing lots of positive energy, and
Good.
I think this is something that we need. And I was always talking about it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think it's
yeah.
great. Give me like a few words about what you do,
Yeah.
a little bit about BRG, what you guys do, how it works, how it goes, how it's developed.
Yeah, man. So, my private security company, Bravo Research Group, based in Southern California, we're branching out to Texas and Florida right now. So, that's exciting. You know, I'm a young businessman. I got in this game in 2008, started my business in 17. But I mean, the reality of being an operator and a businessman, these are different skill sets, right? So, it's been amazing to learn that. I think what I'm most excited about with my company is just that kind of the same things I go after with training, and that is culture and quality control. You know, being downrange, I just know that guys that aren't training and guys that aren't focusing on the right things are going to fail if they aren't tested. You know, and
So let's talk a little bit about the training that you
yeah,
bring into the industry.
yeah,
What's so unique? How suddenly it's like, not suddenly, but it's explode.
yeah,
EP League and
yeah.
the symposium, the other stuff that you do.
Mhm.
What do you think it's like so different than any other players that?
Yeah. So, being once again going back to my grunt infantry, just trying to be a good dude for my guys next to me kind of mentality. I was a bouncer in a bar. I got plucked out of that, put right on a big high level detail, 60 countries a year for 7 years type of thing. I didn't choose the game chose me. So it was nuts. But the thing that I looked at when I started to enter the training game is what would I have wanted when I was there? When I started my podcast, there was no podcast. There was just nothing. And I was like, people told me if you do this, it's going to be the end of your career. And I was like, we'll maintain operational security. We're not in the CIA, guys. Like, calm down. I'm going to contribute. So with the school, I looked at what do people really need, one, to become great operators, but also what do they really need to achieve a successful career? I don't want to just train people and say, hey, you know how to do EP, good luck. I was like, what do they need? So they need mentorship, they need a network, and then they need some of the best training in the game. So I was really blessed to join forces with Rick Sweeney and come up with something that was, he does a lot of, stuff in places where a lot of guys don't want to do EP. And then me doing a lot of stuff in both and, all around the world, Cali, clean places and the other places. And we came up with the hard skills intensive. A lot of schools, I found weren't necessarily focusing on the hard skills. They didn't make a focus. So we have an 8-day course, attack on principle, driving, shooting, CQB, all that stuff.
All of the classical baseline.
Exactly. Medical, EP-centric medical, you get your TCCC, TECC, first aid AED, but you get the scenarios of EP with it. And then driving training, one of the highest levels of driving training in the world. So we're not just doing parking lots, cones, vehicle dynamics, but we're also doing contact driving. So we have a fleet of vehicles. I'm going to come up behind you and try to push you off the road.
Yeah,
We have a roll vehicle.
Adult Luna Park.
Yeah, bro. We have. We're gonna teach you how to, deal with a roadblock in a way that's not going to shut your vehicle off if you have to actually ram through a roadblock. So we teach these more hardcore skills that aren't necessarily as prevalent in the industry. And then you get the mentoring every single month. I do 2 Zoom calls with my students, make sure they're winning. And then you get the network. And so the students have a network. You're going to see a lot of these badges, right? Because I've coached them on how to come here and make the most of this network. They're walking around in buddy pairs. They got their elevator pitch. They got their resumes already been vetted. They got their LinkedIn's vetted. They're going to meet every single person in this room, right? And we're going to, and guys that did that last year are now directors over there. They're now team leaders. And so
That's success.
I love seeing my guys win, man. It just, you can't put a price tag on this.
So in the last 2-3 years, with the expansion, both the business, the podcast, the other stuff, what's the role of your personal brand, like Byron, the person behind all of that? What's the role as a driver behind all of the rest of the business?
It's a
How it
very
kind
good
of
question.
coaches?
And then real quick, I got to balance that out because I don't want y'all thinking I'm just a hard skills guy. We got hard skills. We have all of the soft skills online. And then we have an immersive course that teaches executive protection operations, left seat, right seat. I run operations with you for a week. People can call me and ask how you did. And I can say, this guy's solid. I've seen him run real EP ops. You know, we rent actors, we do all the things. So now in terms of me, behind all this, like the man behind
Not the man,
it.
but you know what I mean. Like, you know, eventually there is a brand there, right?
Yeah.
Which is beyond by. I mean, I know about your brand and
Yeah.
yourself long before I actually met you, and you know.
Yeah.
So there is it's a driver for what you do.
Yeah.
What's the role of this thing? How does this thing develop? When the balance changed?
So I would say my purpose is I'm a protector by nature and by trade, but my purpose is to multiply protectors in the world. And so I realize the difference between strength and power. I'm strong. This balcony is safe, right? But if I can multiply protectors in the world, I can make the whole world a safer place. And that's really what motivates me. I feel like that's like my God-given mission, right? So I train these guys in schools. I also have the Protector Nation. I train the civilians. I create professional protectors. I put teams in places. And so that's really like the driver behind me launching every single one of these brands that all empower protectors to really be, I want protectors to be looked at as professionals like doctors and lawyers. You know, clients aren't telling their gardeners how to do their job, but they'll tell their EP guys, their CP guys how to do their job. And I want them to look at us as really consummate, competent professionals. And that's really what drives me.